There's a few more points I wanted to make on part one of this bill and really express my delight at some of the provisions of part one. But clause 7 does need some explanation and the Minister and the Chair might take a call to simply explain clause 7 in a little bit more detail, because there certainly is there's been reference to the payment of 3 months provisions, if you like, to the Governor-General. And there's been some reference in the Dominion Post that at the current time it is 3 months, and that's been extended to 6 months, and it's supposed to be the same amount of money because taxation would take care of it. And there's been some cynical reference to that in the Dominion Post, because how could you go from 3 months to 6 months? Is it a taxation of 50%? So perhaps the member in the chair might like to explain that a little bit. The clause 9 talks about annuity for spouse or partner of former Governors General when they leave, and I think that this is a particularly important provision, Mr. Chair, because the Lord forbid that in office a Governor General's spouse may not happen, but if it does, it's good to know that this bill, clause 9, makes provision for an annuity that would take care of the spouse, because again, having a position of this type with this much exposure and very little else to return to requires that type of protection as well. The annuity being paid to the Governor General is also well reflected here, and the provisions are appropriate. There's also people might want to consider why is it important to have clause 10, where there are particular provisions for a Governor-General losing superannuation rights that he or she may have accrued elsewhere. And perhaps the Minister and the Chair might explain this a little bit. I think I understand what it is. If there are other provisions that a Governor-General has had before taking up the role, and then when he or she comes into this particular role, there may be some effects on that Governor-General and on superannuation rights in the future. So there should be no loss to that, and they may require some special provision, and certainly Clause 10 makes that provision to make sure that there is no financial loss to the Governor-General's superannuation rights gathered somewhere else through extensive service and in a different capacity. So Clause 10 takes care of that. Clause 12 makes for permanent appropriations for salary, allowances, annuities, and that kind of regularizes this and brings in the final element that a standalone bill of this nature with all of those provisions is important to have in place. So Mr. Chair, the role of a Governor-General, such as it is, requiring a special person with extensive background, not having the ability to return to normal life, if you like, it is very satisfying to see that the provisions of Part 2 are so clearly stated and takes care of a number of the demands on the role and what a Governor-General forfeits in taking up the role that he, in this case, will not be able to return to. And therefore, the provisions in this Part 1 are appropriate for that particular purpose. And just to underscore again, the one satisfying part for me is the way in which the Governor-General's family is redefined or defined in modern terms, and how the provisions here around a spouse are also so appropriate. So with those words, Mr. Chairman, I conclude my comments.